Hey guys, this is the Ekron Writer here, welcoming you to another Mortal Kombat project. And this one happens to be set after... Actually, it's set in between the Return of the Dragon King and Final Combat. And this is actually a mini-series of events, a novelette, if you will, of my latest random work, Koherence. Basically, it's Aiko's ability to use both her body, actually her mind and her heart, cohesively, simultaneously, and effectively as well. She's able to use her heart, but her mind, it's kind of on the underdeveloped side, kind of like mine. And so, she gets her chance because she keeps remembering Liu Kang's advice to Kai of using his body, mind, and spirit as one to achieve anything and thus being champion. And so, Aiko goes through personal training with this. So, this is just based off of some random scenarios I have in mind. Alright, Koherence. Just another MK story with some more random ideas. I want to give my OC Aiko some personal training while also combating her inner turmoil. Koherence is basically the heart and mind working as one, without letting thoughts nor emotions override one another. You know how they are. This was slightly inspired by the Trip to Montana mini-series, which was about a week long back in 1991, when I was first fascinated with tribal customs. And since Aiko and I have that same entrancement, I figured it'd be the opportunity to dive in more of her intro version. There's continuation 1. This takes place after Liu Kang and Kung Lao's victory over Onaga and before Armageddon, on the spring of March 1996, when Jin still goes to school. Aiko kept fidgeting inside the wider bedchamber he shared with Kung Lao. Her heart began to race, her blood turned cold, and her body trembled periodically. She had been anxious, uneasy over something, over the talk she had last night with Nightwolf. "Are you sure about this? This is your tribe, your former tribe. The same Matokans that rejected you since you went to college." Inside the technical den, he rose, an assuring hand. I know. My people discarded me after I left their land and pursued higher learning. But it looked to be the same as before, since it was protected from Shao Kahn's invasions. They actually appreciate me now. Yeah, but how did you know all this? How did you know they need you? Assuming Raiden. My lastborn is about to get her Matokan name. Actually, it should be a boy. Raiden was actually curious since he dropped out from being an elder god and reinstated as protector, so he just stopped by and alerted me. It's been a long time since I became immersed with my people's customs. So too the thunder god. The cardiokinetic side. If only I never had that weakness. I wish I was immune like you two. So it's just you and Raiden then. Actually, Kung Lao and Liu Kang also like to go along. Her mouth and eyes widened. What? They're going too? Because of their unstaunched curiosity, she became a nervous wreck. Nothing would ever be the same without the main quartet, and Nightwolf informed it'd take about 5 days for the personal endeavor, as the lastborn still needed some time to rehearse his tribal dance. For the Elder God's sakes, the heroic monks helped defeat Onaga not so long ago. Still, she tightly clutched her rocking legs, sometimes even causing friction, until she heard a door open. Aiko? It was Kung Lao. He peeked, then walked in, seeing his girl in distress and so tense. Oh, hey Kung Lao. What's wrong? He was in deep concern as he sat beside her. I just didn't realize that you, Liu Kang, and Raiden were leaving with Nightwolf so soon. It's going to be hell for you guys to pack, and it's not going to be the same. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. I wish it wasn't so sudden either. But it can be rather fascinating on seeing an actual Indian ground. It'd be more exhilarating than just being with Nightwolf. Us Shaolin usually travel light anyway. You know that. Smirked. Yeah, she almost forgot how they handled their various expeditions. Yeah, but about 5 days. I never thought it'd take this long before. And I wonder how the drums would affect you guys. Why am I the only one affected? Lao put a hand on her shoulder. Relax, Aiko. We'll be fine. Oh, I almost forgot. Took out a picture framed as he blew dust away. He showed himself younger and a fresher face, smiling warmly as if it was glowing by the daylight ambience. Maybe it was. Aiko couldn't help but smile back at it. Ah, this is you? Yes. I was younger when this was taken, before I became anxious over following my ancestors' footsteps. Still want to live a peaceful life, like now. She looked down into the bright, lively face of her lover. She'd never seen him this jovial in so long, until she felt a sudden kiss on her forehead. I'll miss you, Kung Lao. It'll be over before you know it. It's getting late. We should get some needed rest. Raiden said he'll take us there via portal tomorrow morning. After another smooth embrace, he blew out the light and he hit the sack. Even after a hearty breakfast, she was still antsy over the personal adventure. She even overheard Kung Lao promising he'd be back soon, as he always has to excited... damn typo. As he always had to his excited family as they wished him luck, it should say. Raiden was just awaiting Lao as soon as he was ready. She followed the tall, distinguishable silhouette to the open front door. You have nothing to fear, Aiko. Besides, it's been ages since Nightwolf and I had witnessed a Matokan ceremony. Don't be alarmed. It won't take too long. He laid a firm hand on her right shoulder with his usual grin, with his eyes sizzling with bolts. My brother Fujin shall watch over the Shaolin in mine, Kung Lao's, and Liu Kang's stead. Kai can still follow his lead. Raiden, why am I the only one who's been infatuated with these customs? There must be a connection somehow. The answers will come in due time. He then noticed Kung Lao approach. Are we ready? Yes, Master Raiden, he replied with a slight bow. Liu Kang and Nightwolf weren't too far behind. I'm surprised you and Liu Kang decided to go along. It is most intriguing to embrace Nightwolf's Matokan side, the former champion spoke. Who knows? Maybe you can learn one thing or two from us, the shaman boasted. Kiba barked next to him, adding to his remark. Aiko murmured she'll miss him too, and the wolf gave her some licks before they parted. Raiden assured everyone she has her heart gem in case something should go awry, whether restoring someone or communicating. Aiko and Jin's mom watched as the four trod into the portal and vanished amongst the rising sun. As she tried to process everything, she sat down with her over a couple cups of warm green tea, and the nurturer affirmed the former monk said he was interested in Nightwolf's odyssey. Ever since they dealt with the Mikiba, as she heard, that the female fighter was entranced by them. She lamented she still wasn't sure how and why she'd be the only one mesmerized by them, and Raiden never gave her an answer. Seeing the two small stairwells, she eventually went back up to Jin's bedroom as soon as she was done. Aiko noticed the preteen sitting on his bed. He welcomed her in, and she sat beside him. He's almost in middle school, by the way. You miss Kung Lao already, do you? All he did was nod with a glum expression. I know. I miss him too. It's just like when I told you about separation anxiety. Jin muttered, yes, wearing the same depression. Why did you decide to stay? Aiko perked up. It's like, you know that everyone has a weakness, right? That every one of us is different. That no one is invincible, even if someone is champion of Mortal Kombat, like Liu Kang or Lao. Mortal or not. Well, mine is actually the tribal drums. She paused for a beat before she continued. I'm sure your uncle and perhaps your mom told you of our misadventures through Outworld, and that I was suddenly drawn in by the Mikiba. The thing was, ever since I was little, I believe it was back in 91, when we were 4 before I went through time, I first encountered them, on some Sesame Street episodes of all things, most notably the Montana miniseries and that African Dance in the Park clip. Yeah, these few things reminded me of Nightwolf. And you told me about those Indians in Peter Pan, that when I was younger I wanted to be like them. And you told me it was tempting. Exactly. I never wanted you to lose your identity, nor your destiny following your uncle, to be a hero amongst the Shaolin, that each of us must set our own goals firmly. Only Nightwolf understood of my triggers. Even Raiden. I've been starting to feel pangs of anxiety once I realized they were leaving last night. Separation anxiety, even if it's only 5 days. The same that Ernie went through when Bert was away, or if Kung Lao was involved in combat. Jin's mom was heard as she spoke loudly in Mandarin that Jin must get ready to middle school. A few minutes later, he was underway. I still can't understand this. I'm probably just tension sensitive. Or maybe that's how my brain is wired. I'm sensitive to many things. Touch, light sound. I can't dig spicy foods. Just be grateful you have your... Wait, who's saying that? Just be grateful you have your anchors, Aiko. My brother, Nightwolf, Liu Kang, Raiden, and Fusion. We're all here for you. What can I do without them? There has to be a connection somehow. There needs to be a defense mechanism of sorts. Which is why you do need an anchor. More than anything. A distinctive male tone made the cardiokinetic's own heart speed up. Almost leaped to her throat. She immediately stood upright. A tall, slender man walked in from the door, shielding the sun. Kenshi! Right. I knew you would be heading to the Wuxi Academy for training, but we thought otherwise. It wasn't just because I picked up tension via your heart gem. It was because Raiden passed on the news you would all be heading to the sacred ground in America's East Coast. Yeah, exactly. I thought you would stay with Takeda. Takeda! Yet you still pronounce his name wrong. I thought he'd still be staying with Hanzo in the Shirai Ryu. It couldn't have been a better time. Fusion shall announce to all the Shaolin since I had been planning to train you myself. Train me? For what? To enhance your heart. I'm not sure about a soundtrack yet, so I won't go into that, unless if it's a separate entry. Anyway, I had a few random ideas developing, like always. Nothing MK1 related, nor would I ever. And ever since I started the awesome undead roleplay with unaliving Liu Kang, I began to embrace Aiko's weakness. It turned out that all this started back in '91 with the Trip to Montana miniseries aired, as did the African clip Aiko mentioned to Jin. The Indians of Neverland was a sort of turn-on too, as was a few other tribal clips, even the African and Jamaican one, and of course there was Nightwolf. And I also had some random fragments of Aiko mentioning to Jin about separation anxiety from the aforementioned source, even though he's mostly be at school when Lao's away. The photo he found was a recent idea from his charming smile in MK1 during the sneak peek of his chapter being the first. And with the instantaneous portal, it'd take the combatants a tad less than the series itself. But I'm not certain how many chapters it'd be. Well, actually it was 7. Life has been quite stressful, so I'm not certain when the next chapter or idea would be. At least Kenshi has made a sudden appearance. And coherence technically means the heart and mind working as one, which is for what it's ahead. So, until her training, this is the Ecron Rider signing out. So, I'll see you all later. And this is Aiko's heart gem, by the way. So, see you guys later.